Welcome to Disturbed, the American Horror Story Roanoke podcast. We are talking Season 6, Episode 5, aptly titled Chapter 5. I am Rob Southgate. With me is, it says it right there on the screen, with me is...
Chris Mile.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Rob.
So we're a little late with this one, so people listening to it later won't know, but people that are the regular listeners in the timely manner are going to be going, hey, man, this is like 2 weeks old. What's up with that?
Right.
Hey, sorry. Life happens. We got really busy. Yeah. You know us. We do our best to make it happen on time. This is a tricky one for us. So thank you for hanging in there with us, but sorry we're late. Yeah, so let's talk this one out. Episode 5 was crazy. And we're still a week away from the big twist they keep talking about.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we know the twist now, so we're going to have to be very tender about this. We're not going to reveal it. Let's not even speculate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I don't even want to play around. We've talked about it on the previous episodes. We've speculated about it. I don't want to say whether we're right or wrong or any of that. I just want to get into this. But I will say one thing that we are wrong about. Evan Peters did not play Piggy.
No.
I thought for sure he was going to be Piggy. Not Piggy. Evan Peters shows up in this one.
Yes, he shows up as Edward Philip Mott. What a great Victorian name.
Oh,
Edward Philip Mott.
It was great. It was great. I love the costuming and everything for him. I mean the whole thing. Edward Mott is a great character.
He's a person out of he's probably too ahead of his time for back then, and a very rich person that can do what he wants, and he does, and ends up kind of paying for it, but that's okay.
Yeah, he does. So let's see, Edward Mott. We find out he's the one who had the house built.
Correct.
Some of those specifications were what he wanted. He was really into art, and he also was trying to live separate from his estranged wife.
Yes.
For various reasons.
Quote unquote beard. So
yeah, no kidding. And he wanted to have his his place in the woods where he could have all of his stuff.
His stabbing cabin.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
Yes.
Literally.
Well, before we get much into there, they opened the show with Doris Kearns Goodwin, which was fantastic because she's a real life historian. And
she is.
Yeah, she is. She's the real deal. She is what.
Wait a minute, are you sure? I thought for sure. Did you look that up?
She is an American biographer, historian, and political commentator. So they got somebody real to do it. Fantastic.
I am sitting here stunned.
Yes.
Because I thought that was the actress, I can't think of her name, the one who is in later in the episode.
No.
Who plays the Polk's mom?
Yes. No. It wasn't.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was her the whole time. Catherine something? I don't know.
I'll look it up. So
yeah. To the internets.
To the internet. I can't think.
You know who I mean, right?
Yeah, I know exactly who you mean. I can't think of what
I swear I thought it was her, but that's awesome. So they got a real life historian.
Frances Conroy.
Yes. So, but it wasn't her. It was this other historian.
No, she's a real historian, so it kind of lends,
Yeah, credibility to the whole thing. Credibility. As if it's real.
To the documentary, yeah. So they start out with that, and then we meet Evan Peters, which is fantastic. But, so he's building all these houses with all these trap doors and all these passageways. So is this a tie-in to hotel or not? I mean, not that that's a real
I was actually thinking it was tying to the murder house too. Like it just kind of had that vibe, but we could just be making connections that aren't really there.
Right.
Especially since there seems to be a lot of little things in this that remind me of past seasons. We've talked about this quite a bit. Even the house here and his, building the house and having all these separate areas, it just kind of reminds me of all of that.
Right.
So
a little bit. It's still, it's kind of a cool house when you go back and look at it. It's a neat house with a lot of architectural cool things in it. I love the size of the rooms. I love some of the stuff. So it just, I was thinking like you get in there, he's like, I built these tunnels, and you're like, yeah, where do you drop the bodies?
Right. I built these for my girlfriend.
Which he ironically does, because he does drop the women in that bunker area.
Yes. How great was that? So this bunker, this root cellar that we've seen,
mm-hmm.
I just thought it was a root cellar. I mean, I didn't really. When we talked about it before, we talked about how he was hiding out there and everything. Now they've given us a story about the root cellar.
Yes, some backstory to that. So, and one technical glitch, they still had the cast iron railing rungs when they dropped the ladies down there.
Yeah.
But besides that, it looked all pretty good. So
now wait a minute. Something's not adding up for me here. I'm looking at IMDb. First of all, a couple of things. Danette wrote on here, I read some of her books. She's great. So I'm the one who's out of the loop on this historian. And then also the house reminded her of the one
in Coven. Yeah,
Coven. So that's interesting too. For me, I got to look this up right now. Frances Conroy, it says, is Gloria Mott.
She's the mom.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Edward Mott is Evan Peters.
Oh, my God.
I thought she was Polk. So does that mean, did they just put a spoiler on IMDb? Does that mean that they are descendants of Mott?
No, she's not. She's Mama Polk is what it says on Wikipedia. Okay,
on here, it lists her as Gloria Mott.
Oh, they must have, maybe.
All right, I'm looking that up.
Well, maybe, so let's not spoil that. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay.
You know what?
Well, it's one of those things, when they put these things out there, I usually, especially with IMDb, they don't always get it right, number one. Also, I figure if it's on IMDb, it's already public, because they don't publish the stuff. So there are a lot of spoilers and things that are hidden. But
it might have been Gloria Mott in Coven. I'm going to check that right now.
Oh, yeah, it has her listed.
No, she plays Myrtle Snow. Sorry, nope, not it.
So who's Gloria Mott? Wait a minute. I might have it. It's not that Polk is a descendant. It's that she is literally, the actress playing Mama Polk is literally a descendant of Edward Mott.
Yeah, maybe, because maybe, he does mention, where she mentions in the episode that she made a deal with Thomason.
Yep.
Which is a butcher, to keep it in the family. And he says he's owned the property, so it makes sense that maybe his family has owned the property for a long time.
That could be what it is then. That could be what we're seeing. Okay. I can, I think I don't know if that's necessarily a spoiler, but it is something that it's a little clue that we might have just found on IMDb. But you know what? We've had these before. We were convinced that, what's his name? Vic Mackey from The Shield was going to show up last season, and he never did. So we were convinced by all of our little clues that he was going to show up in the Thing outfit. It's just going to be a mashup, but he's going to be the commish, dressed like the Thing, and his name is Vic Mackey.
Yes.
Didn't happen. Let's see. What else do we have in this one? So we had the story of Mott. We saw him with his lover. The art was all destroyed. He blames everybody in the house, throws those women in the root cellar.
Right.
When all hell breaks loose, literally, they get forgotten about. So the next time they open this root cellar, it's all skeletons. How long were they down there? You don't rot that fast, especially the root cellar. This had to be forever, man.
It could have been a long time. I don't know.
That had to be a long time they were down there. Imagine how that smelled. No Febreze is getting that out.
No. Exactly.
Man, it smells like pine and corpses down here.
Gloria Mott.
Are you looking her up?
It says curtain call as credit. I don't know.
Let's see. He locks his staff in the root cellar. We see the Roanokes impale Mott.
Yes.
This was a hell of a scene.
Yeah. He's just like, what?
They impale him and they barbecue the guy. It was like that was crazy.
Yes.
That was crazy.
How did you like when he held the light in front of his eyes where he kind of went skeletal?
That was great. That was a great effect. And you know what I loved about the way they did that is it wasn't consistent. It wasn't like if you were programming it, you'd say, okay, every time this value hits this value, the skeleton face appears. It didn't seem like that. This seemed like a very organic. Like at first, you kind of went, did I just see a skeletal face? And then it was like, yeah, I'm seeing it, and I'm just waiting for it. I'm just watching for it.
Right.
I thought it was really a great effect. Very, very cool. It looked very natural. I even paused it to look at it to see, does it look like an overlay? And it really didn't. It was exceptional.
No, it was really good. It was very kind of creepy too.
Okay. I want to bring up the creepiest moment for me in this episode.
Oh, yeah, it is creepy. Go.
How about Spider-Woman?
Yes.
Is that the one you were thinking of?
No, I was thinking something else, but it's very creepy.
Oh, I can't wait to hear yours because the Spider-Woman crawling around, and then she pulls the kid upstairs. We had to watch it to see. It looked like they threw the kid down the stairs, and then if you watch, it's like, no, it pulls the kid back upstairs.
Right, like from down, like she went on the railing of the
stairway. Yeah, she was on the railing and like grabbed and pulled. Wow. That, to me, that creepy Spider-Woman, that freaked me out. That was one of those, like, we see all this blood and guts and all this stuff. That one, like, my brain couldn't piece that one together. That thing shows up again. That is a nightmare.
Well, yeah, and it's right out of like The Ring. It's right out of a lot of things.
Yeah,
like creepy.
Yeah, like that Korean horror stuff.
Yeah, or Japanese. Yeah, it's nutty. They pulled out a lot. That was cool. I thought the creepiest thing was when, number one, when they find Elias. I was like, that stuff freaks me out.
When did they find Elias? What was that?
When they went to the Mott's house. Remember?
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
the Polk's house. When Mott comes out and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to leave you here." And it's like, "Yeah, I'm skedaddling." It's like, great.
Good job. Yeah. When they have him and he's missing like a leg and a hand.
Yeah. Well, then she breaks Shelby's foot.
Yeah.
I was like,
and that effect was gross.
Yeah. It was Walking Dead effect. So
it was. It was.
It was Nick Nicotero there doing some consulting, but yeah,
they didn't happen to have a bat in that scene, did they?
No. Barbed wire, yes.
Barbed wire, yeah. It was also in that scene that we. This was a moment I had to write this note. Bono down.
Yes. There you go.
Bono gets taken down in this one.
That's a badge of honor in this.
You know what?
To get killed.
It's great though. It's great, and that scene with Chaz Bono capturing them and like that, like it felt once again like I buy these guys. I buy that. I bought that whole storyline of Mama Polk and like we're protecting this. This is our deal with these things,
right?
And Chaz Bono stepping up to try to stop them, and then them breaking shows like that. That whole thing was very unsettling and very believable to me. It changed the dimension of what we thought we knew about the Polks. I mean, I just thought they were hillbillies that were, they were just causing trouble. They wanted the space, and then we're like, well, maybe they're. I think you and I were speculating that they might be related or something.
Right.
This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's a good twist if it turns out to be what we're talking about, and we don't know, if they are related to they're related to the Motts.
Yeah, and you know what? Even though we said that we kind of know stuff, we don't know.
Right.
This is not something we know. We know the twist. We don't know anything we're talking about, anything we're speculating on. We're not playing with you as the listener at all.
Even if we did know, we wouldn't know because we both forget.
Oh, that's true too. I call by I can't tell who anybody is anymore. I've forgotten. In this one, I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, wait a minute, who's this? Oh yeah, Butcher. Yeah, I know who the Butcher is. That's terrible.
The Butcher, Sam the Butcher.
So I wrote on here they're going to kill Flora. That was when wasn't that when the Roanoke's had them?
No, that was when
Was
the
it the
Kill Flora
Polks?
was the I don't think the Polks were. I thought it was the Roanokans.
Yeah, yeah, right. They had Lee, or they had. Oh, that's what it was. I got confused by my notes. This is towards the end. Remember when they pulled up? The cop pulled up with Lee, and it looked like they were going to kill Flora.
Right.
And she gets out, and the cop peels out of there. Like, what the? Seriously? So we know the cop is in bed with these things too.
Sure.
You know, we kind of suspected that before. We've talked about it. Here, it's like, yeah, this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is going on here. We've got Polks that are involved with these things. We've got the cops involved. Everybody seems to know about these guys, and nobody wants to mess with them. Right. And the Butcher is a big bad, period.
Okay. Big bad, absolutely.
And then it turns out Piggy is the one that saves Flora, because it's what we said last episode.
No, it's not Piggy. It's Ambrose. Ambrose saves Flora.
What?
So, Ambrose, the son, he takes the Butcher and takes her, and he goes, "You're not going to spill any more innocent blood."
Right.
And throws him into the.
Right, but Ambrose is the one that killed the Butcher, burned the Butcher up. That was a great effect too, when the Butcher came out of the fire.
Yeah.
But Piggy is the one that actually saved Flora. Piggy grabbed Flora.
Okay, I must have glossed over.
Because I've in my notes, I go through it how the son is the one that kills and then burns the Butcher. Piggy saves Flora. The Butcher pops out of the fire at that moment, and then
already in the car. They're already in the car, so they
right. But he had pulled Flora aside or whatever, and that's when Lee grabbed Flora and they got in the car and they got out of there while this was going on. The Butcher comes out of the flame, and then they go to the hotel. And they had that great, monster in the closet ending when the Butcher came to the door and Shelby in the head. And then you find out it's just Shelby's nightmare. That was really great.
Right. Well, when she goes, "I never forget that."
I won't either.
Yeah, no kidding. So it was good.
That was really, really outstanding. That's the whole episode, right?
Pretty much. I thought they tied up things pretty well. Obviously gave us some Evan Peters, let us see everybody, got tied up kind of what happened to Elias, tied up some other things. So they left it in a pretty good shape for the quote unquote twist that's happening in chapter 6. So
yeah. And giving us Evan Peters is definitely the right move. I really, really like Evan Peters. I really liked him showing up in this.
Right.
And here's what I hope, though. And this is, once again, not spoiling anything or going into any territory. I don't want this to be the last of Evan Peters. They kind of played it like it is.
Right.
Okay. My thought in my notes here, I said he could end up with those outside ghosties.
Right.
But we didn't see him with them. Now, maybe we did. Maybe we didn't even notice it. Maybe if we go back and watch, we'll see him. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. But I'm thinking that might be a way to bring that character back. But it would seem weird. I mean, he's a big guy on this show. Yeah. He's listed in the credits. Usually, especially with the way American Horror Story works, they don't list you in the credits for one episode.
No.
Well,
they might throw him a bone because he's been in every episode, every series since it started. But who knows? I mean,
yeah, but I think I could see them doing that for a couple of episodes, but not a whole season of putting his name in the credits and then having him not there. Right. So he's got to be back, And my guess is, depending on the twist, that we would see him with those ghosties.
Sure. There's got to be something. I mean,
I wonder if his hair will be ghosty. He's got that hair. I wonder if he's going to come back, or if like when you come back as a ghost. Well, I guess you do whatever you were wearing, because like the nurses are in the nurses' outfits.
Yeah. Do you wear a wig? Does he get the wig? Is it all powdered? You look pale. You look pale anyway. That's what he's playing for Halloween. So,
Piggy's in the piggy head, so
right. So is the piggy Finn Whitrock?
You said that before. He hasn't shown up yet.
He hasn't shown up yet, so we're missing.
How do you not have him in this?
I don't know. I think he's got to be in there, or Matt Boomer, right?
He's tied into the show. I mean, there's no way. Now, did you look him up? Did his name pop up in here?
No, I didn't. I'm looking at the Wikipedia because it kind of releases it when it happens instead of getting ahead. So,
yes, he is listed as coming.
Well, because he's listed as being in the show, but it could be a cameo. But maybe he's Piggy. That would be awesome.
I am not going to name because of that other one. If that other one is accurate, okay, then you could call that a spoiler. On IMDb, if you so choose to go look, there is a potential spoiler in here. Oh, there's another one. Holy cow, I'm not going to look at this anymore. He's got a character name according to IMDb. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute.
Stop looking.
No, this is interesting. This might be, I had read somewhere that there was a tie-in that people were making to last season and to the previous season. And I got to see here if he is listed as this character for this series. The problem, so you can't tell.
Dandy Mott.
But is Dandy Mott, this is what so it says, since you said it.
That's maybe why
Dandy Mott, but is Dandy Mott the name of his character on Freak Show?
Freak Show, yes.
His name was Dandy, but it was a Dandy Mott. And if it was Dandy Mott, then he's related to...
And then his mom was Frances Conroy, so that would be Gloria Mott.
Oh, is that what it is? So are those Motts descendants of Edward Mott?
Could be.
Do you think they're ever going to bother telling us, or they're just going to make us crazy with this?
Crazy with us. So, of course they are.
Oh, man. All right. I think we covered everything.
I think so, too, yeah. Yeah, because he plays Dandy Mott.
Dandy Mott. I just, when I was saying I didn't want to spoil it, I'm like, is he going to show up and his character is going to be named Dandy? He'll be a descendant of Mott, and then you'll be like, oh, wait, Dandy. But no, I think you're right. I think those characters are related to this Edward Mott.
Right.
Somehow there's just some poison in this family,
right.
So,
Sure.
All right, let's end this thing. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for listening to Season 5, Episode 5, Chapter 5 of Disturbed. We are here typically on Monday nights at, what time do we usually do this? 7:15. Yeah, usually 7:15 on Monday nights. We're recording live, so jump on, join us on the chat room on YouTube live, and we love to talk to you guys. So far, we've got Danette tonight, but we're recording at an odd time. This isn't when we usually do things. So, yes, what? So once again, follow us on Twitter at DisturbedPod. Follow us on Facebook. You can type in at Disturbed Podcast and find us on Facebook. We also have a Pinterest board that's really cool, putting some stuff up on there. And another thing that started happening is we are now, when we publish the podcast, it's also getting published directly to YouTube, and it's got the show artwork that we use. Going forward, and I'm hoping to have this done, we're about halfway through this season. I'm hoping to have it done within the next couple of weeks. I plan on making Disturbed its own YouTube channel.
Nice.
So if it's not done by the end of this season, it will be done soon. You want to make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel because we'll start streaming these on that, or not. Maybe we'll keep streaming this here, and then we'll put the rest of them up. We'll put the edited version, all that kind of stuff up on the other channel. Plus, I don't want to spoil anything. There's some other stuff we're talking about. So there you go. Chris, you want to give your social media?
Absolutely. I can be found at thebrewboxcafe.com or Blue Box Cafe, or Blue Box Cafe 176 on social media.
Excellent. And you can also follow me at R Southgate. And that is it.
Yeah.
Time to go back into the woods.